Alrighty then, let's talk about intelligence. So first, let's kind of define some of the differences in different types of intelligence and the way that people measure it. So there are a few different ones. The first one that we're going to talk about is crystallized versus fluid. So crystallized is merely how much you know. So how many stats, how many figures, how many things have you read, what have you learned? Okay. Now, fluid intelligence is how you use that intelligence in certain situations and how you connect different ideas and how you process information. So, generally, as we get older, crystallized intelligence increases because we learn more things and we just have greater knowledge, whereas fluid intelligence kind of peaks in our mid to late 20s and then it slowly tapers off, generally speaking. So here are some other types of intelligences that I want you to be aware of for your quiz. So linguistic, mathematical, musical, bodily, spatial, and then interpersonal and intrapersonal. Interpersonal is going to talk about between different groups of people. So this might be your relationships with other people. And intrapersonal is going to talk about your relationship with yourself. Now, oftentimes when these are explained, they're combined in something called emotional intelligence, or basically your ability to empathize with other people and kind of build relationships by understanding and being able to regulate your own emotions and being able to consciously engage with other people in the same way. And the idea is that some of us have greater intelligence in this area than others. So, creativity is basically coming up with an idea that at the time is often thought of as unconventional or unacceptable, but over time, people begin to realize how it can be a viable solution to problems. And it usually comes from people who have a lot of experience with a particular medium or problem. Divergent thinking, if you remember the example or if you tried the activity like a couple of slides back, is thinking outside of the box. There's a hint if you haven't figured out how to do that puzzle with the dots. And convergent thinking is being able to state what are some well established or well thought out answers that a lot of people agree on. So there are different ways of measuring intelligence. One of the most famous ones is through something called an IQ test. So